Right. Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, and we're back talking more Y: The Last Man Season 1, Episode 7. It's called My Mother Saw a Monkey. And the episode just aired, so we're still talking full spoilers about this. And if you aren't, make sure that you hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, all that jazz. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. How you doing? And again, if you are new, though, welcome to the conversation. So, I was getting ready to go off on this, like, I don't know, diatribe of whatever, talking about, I've been an apologist almost of this show. I've been looking forward to this series for so long that when it came out and I heard some of the criticisms and I've heard the positives, and I was watching it and I always try to be super honest. But I was really, really trying to like it more than I was. I was liking it fine, but I was not loving it. I was not, like, the first episode was alright, it was pretty good. But the rest of it, I started finding just really, like some people had said in the comments, boring. Somehow this was boring. And I'm all about story and character, man. I don't need tons of action, all that and stuff, but like, we were taking a really long time getting going, and then this episode comes out, and I have to shut my mouth because it feels like, even though and here's the problem, it's still a problem. 7 episodes deep, we finally feel, I finally feel like we're really hitting something. We're gonna hit a stride here, and I don't know how many episodes there are. I'm gonna say, let's say there's 10. I'm not sure. Somewhere I would say around 10. Hopefully not 8. We're gonna finish strong, and hopefully when we continue, whenever this re-airs, hopefully this gets picked back up by Hulu. I would imagine this will be. That we'll be able to hit the ground running then too. Because this episode had a lot going on, and I was this again, like some of the earlier stuff, starting to show more of what the comic is like and what the world is like. And I said that once they hit the road, once we got out there, that we'd start seeing some stuff. And so we're getting there. It's just a shame that it took this long and this deep into the first season to really get going. But I'll also say that it's appreciated by me, at least, that we are establishing these characters pretty firmly, who they are, what their motivations are, all that kind of stuff. I really do appreciate that. So when I think about how long it took us to get here, it is the journey, and it would be a disservice a little bit to the characters to not at least make them fully fleshed out. I just wish that there was a bit more going on other than just a little bit of, like, a lot of background and a lot of internal conflict that tells us what these characters are going through. Maybe to do that shows us that internal conflict instead of just talking, even though I love a lot of the dialogue in this. So we're breaking this up as usual into 2 parts. Whatever's going on with Yorick and 355 and what's going on with Washington. There is no hero in this. There is no, the beginning of the Amazon group that Missy Pyle is running over at that like almost Sam's Club, almost Costco type place. So we're going to talk about Yorick's part of this first, actually. Okay. Now, they're finally out. And I really dug this because, again, we're getting to see what is happening, what's different groups of women are going to look like as you cross the country. And in this, we get to see a women's prison that after everything went down, the men who were guarding them are gone, and they got free. And instead of running, they decided to build a community. And I think that's really cool. That somehow, you've got a bunch of people that were convicted of varying degrees of crime, right? You've got killers there, but everything after the fact, is now that they have their freedom, and I'm sure that there's plenty of problems, in still in this group, and maybe more we'll see as we go along. But I really thought this was pretty cool. Now, them finding out about Yorick and Ampersand being guys, that one, I don't know how I feel about that, but I'm not sure about 100% about their motivations still. Are they really just fine with him being some anomaly? You know? Um, when we find out, like that they're letting them stay, I just kind of, until 355 gets better, which is a whole other part of this. I don't know. That's one part that I'm wondering, is the other shoe going to drop here? Is there some other layer that we're not seeing yet? That's, potentially, what are they going to do with Yorick? Are they really going to let them go? Um, and the concern that they have is actually really valid, for these women, right? Is that if somebody is after Yorick and they track them here to this place where a bunch of women, the prison's emptied out and there's no guards and everything else, and having to explain that, will, lock them up again? Will they attempt to lock them up again? Will, and that's a very valid concern that this group has, and I like that conflict. It's a little predictable because if you think about it, something's going to happen here. Now, will it be somebody finds them and tries to start something, or will there be an internal thing that has to do with what their intentions are with Yorick? Now, right now, like I said, it feels like on the surface they're fine with him, but like he's the only guy in the in the world that we know of, and so I don't know. We'll see. Now, 355, on the other hand, getting them into this whole mess, really, because she won't take care of herself, is something else. Her inability to let others help, to do everything on her own, to stand there and beat the hell out of Yorick to prove a point, even though as she does it, she throws up immediately afterwards. Again, such a fascinating character. So I admire her. I see a lot of myself in this character of just, no, I've got to have things my way. And I am like that when it comes to my job. Like, I have a very hard time letting anyone help me at all, because it's like, I don't know. I don't even know why. It's not just pride or anything. I don't know. So I really understand where she's coming from this standpoint. Now, can we trust the girl that Yorick woke up naked next to? She seems to be into him. But 355 says, watch your mouth around her. So again, could we be seeing Yorick putting his foot in his mouth, getting a little too comfortable with this group, maybe letting some things slip? Because right now they don't know who his mother is. So if they do find out, maybe it will be the reason to do something different than just let them go once 355 is okay. Now, the second part of this is also really interesting. And our Washington story, which is them trying to prove that what Kim's mother saw, the ex-president, the now current president's, how do you say this? The president that died's wife. So she was the first lady, Kim's mother. To prove that she did see someone, a man, in the White House. And that's this group that went out there that was saved by Yorick. I said this was going to be the thing that bit him in the ass. Was they lived to go tell the story. And all that it took was Regina and Kim to start putting things together to be able to start building a case against Jennifer to take the presidency from her. Problem is that the person who saw Yorick is mentally unstable, or is she? Now, the thing is like, I think there's like they even had a warning at the end about, if you're feeling suicidal, because clearly she's got issues. But I also feel like she's lucid enough and sane enough and was understanding the situation that she was being put in. Because they were trying to convince, like, my mom's not okay. We need to make this believable. Who's going to believe us in this? And she just wants to go home. Kim's mom just wants to go home. She is sick of all this. But Jennifer's also her friend, and she does not trust Regina. She says Regina's crazy. And I think she sees that same kind of thing in her daughter, except her daughter is grieving. And we also got Diane Lane doing a lot of really good stuff in this as well, hiding a lot of things, playing her cards close to the chest. I still don't know. Is it vest, chest? Is it both? Anyway, like lying to everyone, playing things out. The way she talked to the soldiers, telling them to reassign them immediately. Get them out of here, to hide, everything still. And I feel like this is just still more of that setup that's going to push Jennifer out. She even says a line that you don't say, that you don't write for a character, where she's like, I'll be here. She says this later on. She's like, I'm not going anywhere. Don't ever let your character say that if you have no intention of actually, your character shouldn't have to say that if they're not going anywhere. That is, to me, foreshadowing like crazy. And again, we talked about that last episode, where this is all setting up where by the end of this season, I don't know, will we even have Diane Lane back next year? She's to me, Diane Lane is an A-list actress, and can, is this going to be one of those one season performances? I hope not. I hope that she continues to come back. I would really like her to still be in the show for the duration. But also, you got to talk more about Amber Tamblyn again. She is so great at playing this person that is just so fucked up. So messed up. And I mean, in the last year or so, the last years, man, we have had, we've seen a lot of women like the person that she's playing in this. And so she's able to draw from a lot of real world people that talk and act like Kim. She's nailing this kind of character. But also, and not just the religious angle and that hard men are everything, and and the religious aspect, but the grieving mother aspect. How really, to me, almost all of her motivation is just, she is so heartsick of losing everything that the combination of those religious beliefs and those values that she holds so dear, that are just the end all be all for her, that are really, I say in certain things a lot, like what you like, but I have a big problem with religion and belief systems and things like that. And so I'm really trying to not be too far about this, go too far with this. But so that's why I'm trying to understand things from the side of her being a mother. When she starts spouting out stuff about atheists and Ivy League ass kissers, and this is God choosing Yorick Brown, and it's not just about the presidency, this is about us becoming a nation of mothers again. I feel like so much of that is just being used as an excuse because she just wants to be a mother again. Look at how she Christine. But she's so gone. She's so gone to the other side that she can't just. I don't know. It's she's still you playing politics about it when this shouldn't be a political thing. There was also her mother had the best line in the episode where they were talking about, oh, I cry and I cried, and she's like talking, I cry all the time, like getting all emotional, and her mother says to her, oh God, I wrote it down. Where is it? Oh no, come on, Rob, find it. Gotta pause. She says, if you shed even half a tear, your boys would have to split it. I was like, oh shit, she got real with her. Now, when she hears Regina and Kim plotting like what to do with the information they have, you have her mother listening in the other room. And the next thing you know, she's walking in her nightgown screaming about, you made me think I was crazy. And then leaves. She goes and she told Kim to leave Jennifer alone. You can tell she doesn't want anything to do with this, right? So how much of that was just her being like having too much of an emotional strain after everything else, but was part of that for Jennifer's benefit? To actually go down there and maybe make her own case against, like, if they try to say that Jennifer knew this and blah blah blah, they would never believe it coming from me, because now I've gone down there and just made it a complete, I made myself look even more mentally unstable than she already is. Was there a part of her that was trying to help Jennifer in her own way? Now you can say that because of her actions later that there wasn't, but I don't know. I feel like there was more. You look at her performance and it's like her eyes, she's paying attention, and when she needs to be off, she's off. Really hard to tell, and I really thought her acting was fantastic. Now before we end this and we hit the two big points, Beth shows up. This is a huge departure from the comics. Forget the fact that Beth in the comics is a leggy blonde girl who goes to Australia. This is Beth goes to Australia in the comics. She does not show up at the White House, the Pentagon, whatever, the government. And I really thought that this was so, if you're going to deviate like this. Because Beth goes in there and it's like, oh, I just wanted to meet, be around somebody who knew him and loved him, and it's such great. I was like, why is she there? So yeah, the excuse being, I know you're his mother and I loved him and this is what happened and you should know this and blah, 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 and I'm not staying though. And when we find out that Beth was a scout, when she leaves, now, when we are introduced to her in this episode, she looks scary. And that to me was foreshadowing that we should have been paying attention. That the whole thing with the hoodie felt like somebody who was attempting to do something bad to Jennifer. And it looks like she still is helping, at least, people that might try to do something. Describing the inner workings of the government. Who could get in there? Someone who knows the president in that kind of intimate way. Really, really interesting. Who are these people? What group is this? Is this the Culpa Ring? Probably not. This is probably just some people that are like, we need to know what's going on in there. How tight is everything? Is it defense, like, how stable is the situation? Can we take advantage of it somehow? Who are these people? That's really interesting as well. So that's how you do it. That's how you change something. You can give us just this interesting story, because Beth doesn't really have anything to do for a long time in the comic. This is making her an actual active character in this. And she does not know what happened to Yorick. Now, in the end, we have what happens with Kim's mother, where she won't listen to her daughter, or her daughter won't listen to her. She just wants to go home. And then she finds out that the town that their hometown, the dam burst and it's basically gone. So everything is gone. Kim's family is gone. Her father's gone. Their town is gone. Upon hearing all this, Kim's mother goes up on the roof. And again, is this completely to... I know that most of this is because of her own grief. And maybe it is just convenient for the plot. But it also, in a way, again, without this witness to the events, you know, they'll find another way to get there, I'm sure. But her taking herself out and Kim's reaction to it, again, having to watch another family member die, except this time, you know, it's not some act of God and everything, because she tells Kim there is no God. Pretty good episode. Probably the best episode since, like, episode 1. So anyway, that's Why the Last Man, season 1, episode 7. My mom saw a monkey. So if you like this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, and the bell for all notifications. We'll be back next week with episode 8. I want to thank everybody that chooses to watch these, and you have a great night. See you next week. Bye.